Before you can lead an army into battle, you must first learn the 9 principles of the art of war, written by the famous warrior and philosopher Sun Tzu. His teachings come to us from ancient books, and his infinite wisdom about warfare and military tactics still apply to this day. I will guide you and teach you these most important lessons, Commander. Listen very well. Sun Tzu teaches us not only how to engage our enemies, but also how to manage logistics. An army cannot fight without the proper supplies. Without food, arrows, and arms, an army cannot stand its ground. In the words of Sun Tzu, bring war material with you from home, but forage in enemy territory. Then the army will have enough food to survive. Let us see if you understand this advice. As you are growing your civilization, it's important to begin in the right manner. A thriving early economy will allow you to reach the feudal age in a strong position, from which you can continue to grow and ably battle your opponent. We'll start off with gathering food from our sheep. It is important to note that all animals decay while you harvest food from them. Make sure not to kill all your animals at once. We will focus all of our villagers on a single sheep, and once they are done harvesting meat, move them all together to the next one. This minimizes the food decay. When gathering resources, it is important not to lose too much time walking to the nearest gather point. Make sure to place your mills, lumber camps, mining camps, and town centers close to resources. You can also queue up multiple tasks for your villagers by holding down the Shift key when assigning tasks. This is a new feature in the definitive edition. The last lesson is a dangerous one, so pay attention. Boars are very difficult to hunt. They are far away and fight back fiercely when you attack them. However, it is possible to lure a boar to your town center and kill it safely. Before we do this, we may want to research loom in the town center, as it makes our villagers stronger. Next, select one villager. Then right-click on a nearby boar to go hunt it. Watch closely as the villager shoots it twice. Now that the boar is properly aggravated and is charging at the villager, task your villager to run back to the safety of your town center. Once the boar is close to the town center, have other nearby villagers shoot the boar to kill it. Excellent! Dinner is served. You need to gather 500 food, train 21 villagers, and then advance to the feudal age in order to complete this challenge.
Salve. Pabulo. Sane.
Salve, Pabulo.
Salve. Rectus. Sane. Condo. Caeso.
Presto, Pabulo. Ain, Pabulo.
Presto.
You will also need a lumber camp and a mill. Place the lumber camp right next to the forest on your left. and place the mill right next to the forage bushes in the north of your base. Be sure to keep your villagers working at all times, and also assure that your town center never stops producing villagers. Only then can you hope to earn a medal from this challenge. Holding the shift key while tasking your scout to explore will set waypoints for him to follow.
Presto. Fabulo. Correctus. Ein. Venatus. Impero. Sane. Correctus. Sane.
Impero, fabulo.
Ein. Ein. Salve.
Venatus. Fabulo.
Correctus. Venatus.
Presto.
Now is a good time to start luring a boar, like in the video. It might not work the first time that you try it, but do not worry. Practice makes perfect.
Salve. Fabulo. Impero. Venatus. Ein. Presto. Sane. Condo. Fabulo.
If you're struggling, observe your ally. He has done this before.
Ein.
Salve. Ein. Correctus. Caedo. Ein. Sane. Ein. Sane. Ein. Correctus. Salve. Ein. Venatus. Venatus. Sane. Ein. Fabulo. Correctus. Venatus. Presto. Ein. Impero. Venatus. Salve. Venatus.
Presto. Fabulo.
Impero. Fabulo. Presto. Venatus. Venatus. Ein. Sane. Condo. Condo.
Salve. Rectus. Fabulo.
Impero.
Sane. Fabulo.
Ein.
Rectus. Fabulo.
Presto. Correctus. Sane. Ein. Fabulo. Salve. Correctus. Ein. Fabulo. Impero. Correctus. Ein. Sane. Fabulo. Salve.
The gold medal is out of reach, but you still have time to earn the silver or bronze medals. You have 21 villagers. Now you just need 500 food. Do not forget to build additional houses for your growing population. Build a house each time that you have 2 or less population room left. You have gathered 400 food. You are so close.
Fabulo. Caedo. Impero. Ein. Sane. Fabulo. Fabulo. Presto. Fabulo.
You managed to gather the food and train the villagers necessary to proceed with strength. Now, click on the Feudal Age Research icon to advance to the next age.
Salve. Ein. Condo.
Click the Feudal Age button at your town center to advance to the next age.
Caedo.
Impero. Sane.
Ein. Fabulo.
Presto. Ein. Fabulo. Correctus. Fabulo.
Salve. Correctus. Condo. Impero. Ein. Correctus. Caedo.
Well done.
Pero ein. Fabulo.
A good commander must learn to be decisive in war. Hesitation or mistakes can mean the difference between victory and defeat. Just as a soldier practices his spear thrusts, so too must a commander learn to be efficient and repeat tasks until he knows them by heart. Sun Tzu says, "A clever fighter wins his battles by making no mistakes." Making no mistakes is what establishes the certainty of victory, for it means conquering an enemy that is already defeated. Few generals make it this far. Let us see if you are one of them. One of the most common strategies in multiplayer games is the fast castle age strategy. Today, you will learn to execute a particular build order for this. A build order is a set of instructions to be strictly followed in order to guarantee the most efficient gameplay. They are quite common in multiplayer games, so research them in your free time. First of all, it is very important to never leave your town center idle. Check your town center regularly to see if a villager is being trained. If not, use the Go to Town Center hotkey to jump to your town center and click the Create Villager button to train or queue up another villager. If you do not have enough food, force your villagers gathering food to drop off their resources. Use the rally flag in your town center to task it to send new villagers to a resource or construction site when they are trained or ungarrisoned. When villagers are newly created or when they complete a task, they can go idle. Keep an eye on the idle indicator on your top panel. Click on it or use the idle villager hotkey to cycle between idle villagers and send them back to work. Remember, build orders are a great way to improve your play, but do not forget to strategize. No single game is the same, so you will often need to think outside of the box. Good luck. Click on your town center and queue multiple villagers.
Heirloom.
Have two villagers build one house, and one villager build the second house.
Kia. Carbonage.
Kia, Gert. Theodike.
Forgere.
Click on your town center and queue multiple villagers.
So, Bonnet.
Heirloom.
Have two villagers build one house, and one villager build the second house.
Bargara. Rabuga. Kid, Theodike. Bargara. Theodike.
Send any idle or new villager to collect food from sheep. Do this until you have 6 villagers collecting from sheep.
Heirloom. Raboje. Tiedike.
The next villager that you create must build a lumber camp. Do not forget to queue up more villagers as well. When they are created, task them to collect wood. Make sure that your scout keeps on exploring. You need to find all 8 sheep and both boars.
Toe. Toe.
Do not forget to keep training villagers. Your town center should not fall idle. Use your scout cavalry to look for sheep and other resources. Send any idle or new villager to collect food from sheep. Do this until you have 6 villagers collecting from sheep. If you are relatively new to luring boars, you should research loom at your town center after your next villager is trained. Experienced players can save loom for later. Make sure that your scout keeps on exploring. You need to find all 8 sheep and both boars. The next villager that you create will have to build a house near one of the boars. Lure the boar to your town center. You should know how to lure a boar by now. If you do not, play the Early Economy Challenge. Set the rally point of your town center on your forage bushes, and have the next villager that you create build a mill next to them.
Kia. Toe. Bit dear.
Folgere. Kia. Seigere.
Kid. Theodike.
Folgere. Erla. Boonage. Kid.
Valgere. Toe. Selgere.
Lure the second boar with the next villager that you create.
Boonage. Folgere.
Kart. Toe.
Erla. Boonage.
Kia. Kart. Bit dear. Toe. Toe. Theodike. Erlen.
If you do not have the food to create more villagers, force your boar hunters to drop off their food at your town center, and then immediately task them back to the boar. Have the next 3 villagers also forage for berries. Do not forget to keep training villagers. Your town center should not fall idle.
Kid. Toe. Raboje. Folgere. Raboje. Seigere. Erlov.
Toe.
Build another house.
Kia. Boonage.
Valgere. Toe. Raboge. Selgere.
Send the next 6 villagers that you create to collect wood.
Kid. Boonage.
Kid.
Build a second lumber camp to spread out your lumberjacks.
Raboge.
This will make your lumberjacks more productive and ensure that you have 2 places to collect wood from in case of an enemy attack. When your last boar is depleted, send the idle villagers to gather from sheep.
Kia. Valgere.
Fjedike. Erlov. Boonage. Raboje. Kid. Kia. Kart. Toe. Raboje. Folgere. Kart. Fjedike.
Erlen.
Erlov. Fjedike.
When your sheep are nearly exhausted, start building 8 farms.
Folgere.
Do not forget to keep training villagers. Your town center should not fall idle.
Erlov. Kart. Toe. Boonage. Kia. Raboje.
Kid. Toe. Kart. Toe. Raboge. Theodike.
Folgere. Boonage. Raboje.
Send the next 3 villagers to build a mining camp and mine gold.
Kid. Toe. Bit 4. Ho. Kart. Ho. Bonus. Kart. Bra bit 4. Forgere. Tredje. Kia. Bra
You will have enough villagers to advance to the next age once the next one is trained. Cue the feudal age research at your town center. Do not forget to keep training villagers. Your town center should not fall idle. There is not much to do while you wait to reach the feudal age. Keep scouting and keep an eye on your villagers to make sure that they do not go idle. Once you reach the feudal age, you will need 325 wood to build a blacksmith and a market. Queue up 2 more villagers while you wait for the feudal age to be researched. Have them and any other idle villagers collect wood once they are created.
Bra Kia. Ho. Bonus. Bit 4. Bit 4. Erla. Ho. Bonus. Ho. Bit 4. Kid. Kart. Ho. Kart. Trebach. Bra
Now, task 1 villager to build a blacksmith and task 2 villagers to build a market. Hint, if you have more than 900 food stockpiled, research double bit axe at your lumber camp. This is a very good early technology.
Forgere. Bit 4.
Bonnet.
Kid. Trebach. Bonus. Kia. Kid. Ho. Bra Kia. Ho. Bonus. Erlab. Bonus. Kart. Bra bugge. Forgere. Ho. Bra bugge. Kid.
Great! Now advance to the castle age.
Erlo. Kart. Ho. Bonus. Forgere. Kart. Bunich.
Excellent. You have completed this challenge. Hopefully you are happy with your time. If not, feel free to try again. As your army grows, so do your responsibilities. Not only must you look after your soldiers, but also after their families. It is of great importance that your people are fed, that your population grows, and that your towns increase in size. Sun Tzu says, "The command of a large force is the same principle as the command of a few men. It is merely a question of dividing up their numbers." An army is only as strong as the economy that supports it. A large army requires a large population and a surplus of food, gold, and other resources. Show me that you understand this important lesson. Booming is a common strategy for team games, especially on easily defensible maps such as Black Forest or Arena. It means building a strong economy before producing a powerful military. Booming makes you vulnerable until you reach the Imperial Age, but if executed properly, this strategy will allow you to overwhelm your enemies with large armies. The key to booming is ensuring constant production of villagers. Ideally, about half of your total population room should be villagers. To achieve this, you must build multiple town centers and ensure that they are always training new villagers. This requires a large amount of resources, especially food and wood, so finding the right balance will be important. You can also improve the resource gathering rate of your villagers by researching economic technologies at the town center, lumber camp, mill, and mining camp. These technologies are important, so do not ignore them. Apply these lessons and your empire will thrive. You have just reached the castle age. Select your town center and train as many villagers as you can with your remaining food. Set a rally point on trees for now. The key to booming is ensuring that your town centers are always busy. I say town centers because you will need more than just one. You now have enough wood and stone to build a second town center near the trees. You now have enough wood and stone to build a third town center. You may even want to build a fourth town center later to speed up your villager production. Your villagers need houses. Be proactive in building houses to prevent your town centers from becoming idle. Monitor your population counter at the top of the screen. Great. Now make sure that this town center is busy by training villagers there as well. But do not forget your first town center. Remember, your town centers should always be training new villagers. monitor your resources. If you notice that you have a lot of wood compared with food, take villagers away from wood and have them build farms.
Ja, Holzer, Geräte, Bubere. Ja, was ich soll, Geräte. Bubere, Bubere. Bubere.
Research economic technologies at the lumber camp, mill, and mining camp to improve the gathering rate of your villagers.
Holzer, es war Bubere.
Heiße? Holzer. Bubere. Hey, Räte. Bubere.
Ja, was ich soll, Holzer.
Ja, ja. Bubere, Bubere. Heiße? War. Ja, Holzer. Bubere, Bubere. Hey, Räte. Das ich soll. Holzer. Bubere.
You now have 50 villagers. Research handcart at one of your town centers to greatly improve the gathering efficiency of your villagers.
Ja, es war Bubere, Hover.
Räte. Es war. Ja. Bubere. Bubere. Hauber. Ja. Das ich soll. Bubere.
Das ich soll. Bubere. Hey,
Bubere. Holzer.
Geräte. Bubere. Ja, es war Bubere. Das ich soll. Das war Hover.
Räte. Bubere.
Heiße. Bubere.
Heiße? Bubere. Räte. Bubere. Ja, Räte. Bubere. Heiße? Ja. Bubere. Hey, ja. Es war. Bubere. Bubere. Bubere.
You are close to being housed. Construct houses to keep up with your villager production.
Bubere. Bubere. Bubere.
Heiße? Das ich soll.
The chance to earn a gold medal has passed, but you can still earn the silver or bronze medals.
Bubere. Ja, es war Bubere.
Ja, ja. Bubere.
To advance to the Imperial Age, you will need gold and to construct either one castle or two Castle Age buildings.
Hey, ja.
Geräte. Das war Gebure.
Räte.
Das ich soll. Holzhauber.
Hey, ja. Das ich soll.
Ja, das war Hauber.
Ja. Räte. wäre?
Das ist toll. Wo wäre? Heise. Over. Ja.
Over. Heise. Ja. Over.
Ja. Das ist toll. Das war. Wo wäre? Over. Heise. Wo wäre?
Hurry up, you can still earn the bronze medal.
Wo wäre? Heise. Wo wäre? Ja.
Wo wäre? Wo wäre? Wo wäre? Wo wäre? Wo wäre? Wo wäre? Wo wäre?
Bereit.
Ja. Hey, ja. Wo wäre?
Ja. Wo wäre?
Bereit. Wo wäre? Heise.
You are close to being housed. Construct houses to keep up with your villager production. Great! You now have 100 villagers, but you still must advance to the Imperial Age to complete this challenge. Well done. You have 100 villagers and are advancing to the Imperial Age. Your economy is now powerful enough for you to build large armies and vanquish your enemies.
Das ist toll.
A commander goes to war with the army that he has, and must think of how to get the most out of it. Your opponent may seem stronger at first glance, but the sly general does not worry. He studies the enemy and the terrain, and knows how to use his soldiers to maximum effect. Sun Tzu says, "The good fighters of old put themselves beyond the possibility of defeat, and then waited for an opportunity to defeat the enemy." Did you understand what this advice should tell you? Good. Then it is time to send your troops into battle. And do not forget to always keep a level head. In this challenge, you will learn advanced tactics which will help you gain the upper hand on your opponents. First of all, always try to use your units according to their strengths and weaknesses. I will explain the standard unit types. If you want to learn more about other units, consult the technology tree. Archers are strong against infantry, but weak against skirmishers. Spearmen are strong against scout cavalry, but are not of much use against men-at-arms and archers. Skirmishers have a bonus attack against archers and spearmen, but lose out against all other kinds of military units. Men-at-arms are especially good against buildings. However, they also fare well against other units unless they are outnumbered. Scout cavalry are strong against skirmishers, but will also fare well against small groups of archers and are excellent raiders to boot. When commanding ranged units, your best chance when facing a numerically superior force is to use hit-and-run tactics. Use your archers to shoot at the enemy units. Then run away when they get too close. Take note of the surrounding terrain. If you fight downhill or from behind a cliff, your units will do additional damage to enemy units. If you fight in a narrow passage, a smaller group of units can overcome a larger one by exploiting the bottleneck. Now that you have learned these important lessons, let us see how you fare on the battlefield. Welcome. In this challenge, you must defend several areas against enemy attacks. Choose the units that are best suited to fend off each enemy army, and try not to lose too many of your own soldiers. Consult the hints section if you need a reminder about unit strengths and weaknesses. The enemy is preparing to attack you. Study the composition of the enemy forces and choose the soldiers that you want to send into battle by selecting one of the unit types available to you.
Да. Да, господин. Аз делаю. Понятно. Аз делаю. Да, господин. Понятно. Аз делаю. Понятно. Да, господин. Аз делаю. Да, господин. Понятно. По оръжие. Приказание. Да, господин. В атака. К вашим услугам. Бой.
You will have to earn the gold medal in a different battle, but do not despair. The silver medal is still within reach. The enemy is about to launch a second attack. Choose the right unit to repel these enemy archers.
Да, понятно. И атака. Приказание. Бой. К оръжию. И атака. К оръжию. Бой. К оръжию. К вашим услугам. Бой.
Now the enemy is sending a group of skirmishers. Choose the right counter and defend your land. Enemy men-at-arms approach from the south. We must stop them.
Приказание. Да, господин. Аз делаю. И атака.
Did you notice the hills nearby? Units fighting from higher elevation have an attack bonus against enemy units at a lower level. Try to lure your enemy to the hills to use the terrain to your advantage.
Бой. Да, господин. И атака. Понятно. К оръжию. Да, господин. И атака. Аз делаю. Бой. Понятно. К оръжию. Да, господин. Бой. Аз делаю. К оръжию. Да, господин. И атака. Понятно. Бой. Аз делаю. К оръжию. Понятно. И атака. Аз делаю. К оръжию. Да, господин. Бой. Аз делаю. И атака. Понятно. Бой. Да, господин. И атака. Аз делаю. К оръжию. И атака. Да, господин. Бой. Понятно. К оръжию. Аз делаю. И атака. Понятно.
Achieving the silver medal is no longer possible, but do not worry. Use the remainder of this attempt to learn more about army compositions. It will certainly help you in the future. Spearmen are about to cross the nearby ford to the west. Recruit some more units to repel them.
Да, аз делаю. Да, господин. Аз делаю. Понятно. Аз делаю. Понятно. Да, господин. Понятно. К оръжию. К вашим условиям. И атака. Да, к вашим условиям. Бой. Приказания. Да, господин. Аз делаю.
The final battle approaches. This time, you are allowed to select 2 unit types with which to fend off the enemy. Try to use your units according to their strengths and weaknesses.
К вашим да, Господи, аз делаю. Понятно. Приказания? Да, Господи, да. Аз делаю. Понятно. Аз делаю. Приказания? Да, Господи, к вашим услугам. И атака. Аз делаю. Да. К вашим услугам. Да. И атака. К оръжию. Приказания? Бой. К вашим услугам.
Good job. The enemy has been defeated, and this area is now under your control.
Да, Господи.
You may encounter adversaries that do not have the courage to face you on the field. It can be expected that some of your rivals will prefer to hide behind the walls of their strongholds. Besieging an enemy castle is an art of its own that every able general must master. Sun Tzu says, "A warlike prince carries out his own secret designs, keeping his antagonists in awe. Then he is able to capture their cities and overthrow their kingdoms." Now is the time to familiarize yourself with the construction and usage of siege equipment. Will you be able to bring down the walls of your opponent? Sometimes it is crucial to overcome your opponent early on. This is especially the case if the civilization matchup and map favor your opponent during the late stages of the game. In this challenge, you will learn how to quickly destroy an enemy castle. As soon as you reach the castle age and build a siege workshop, you can construct 4 different types of siege weapons. To destroy a castle, you will only need battering rams. These are best equipped to smash fortifications due to their high pierce armor and attack bonus against buildings. Garrison units inside of the rams to make the rams move faster and to increase their attack against buildings. Once you reach the Imperial Age, the trebuchet will become available at your castle. It is in many ways the most powerful siege weapon in the game, but it needs to pack and unpack when reloading to fire at enemy buildings. The bombard cannon does not have that problem, but it has lower attack and range than the trebuchet. Bombard cannons are also effective against units. However, you must first research chemistry at the university before you may produce them. If you decide to attack enemy fortifications, make sure that you have enough soldiers to defend your siege units. Unprotected siege weapons are quite vulnerable. Additionally, research the armor and attack upgrades at your blacksmith so that your soldiers stand a better chance against enemy defenders. Enough talk. Let's tear down a castle.